Battle of the Bulge, also known as the Ardennes Offensive, was a big battle fought during World War II, taking place from December 16th of 1944 to January 25, 1945. This battle marked a crucial turning point in the European theater. It showcased both the determination of the Allied forces and the desperate last-ditch efforts by the German army to reverse their declining fortunes. This video delves into the origins, key events, strategies, and outcomes of the Battle of the Bulge, understanding its impact on the course of the war. To understand the Battle of the Bulge, one must examine the context leading up to it. By late 1944, the Allies had made significant gains, liberating large parts of Western Europe, including most of France. However, the German army under Adolf Hitler still possessed formidable strength. Hitler planned a surprise counteroffensive, intending to split the Allied forces, recapture Antwerp, Belgium, and potentially negotiate a favorable peace agreement. The plan relied on the element of surprise, exploiting the heavily forested and thinly defended Ardennes region. The Battle of the Bulge began on December 16th of 1944 with a massive German assault on the Ardennes front. Under the command of Field Marshal Gerd von Rundstedt and General Hasso von Manteuffel, the German forces employed a series of deceptive tactics to mask their intentions. They used English-speaking German soldiers, known as Operation Greif, to create confusion behind enemy lines. The Germans aimed to punch through the Allied lines, create a bulge in the front, and drive westward towards Antwerp. The initial German assault caught the Allies off guard. The inexperienced American troops in the Ardennes region faced the brunt of the attack, with their defensive lines rapidly crumbling. The German forces advanced rapidly, creating the bulge in front. However, the determined resistance of American soldiers, such as the 101st Airborne at Bastogne, slowed the German advance down and bought valuable time for the Allies to regroup. As the news of the German offensive spread, Allied commanders, led by General Dwight D. Eisenhower, swiftly mobilized their forces to counter the threat. The American, British, and Canadian troops rallied together, improvising defensive positions and launching counterattacks. The harsh winter weather aided the Allies as it grounded the German Luftwaffe and hampered their resupply efforts. Eisenhower appointed General George S. Patton to lead the 3rd U.S. Army in a daring and highly successful maneuver. Patton's forces executed a rapid and audacious relief mission, racing northward to reinforce the besieged town of Bastogne. The 101st Airborne Division, under the command of General Anthony McCauley, heroically withstood the German siege, famously replying "nuts" to the German demand for surrender. The arrival of Patton's force broke the encirclement, effectively halting the German advance. The Battle of the Bulge concluded on January 25th in 1945, with the Germans forced to retreat and abandon their ambitious objectives. The Allies suffered heavy casualties, but successfully repelled the German offensive. The battle resulted in over 100,000 casualties on both sides, making it one of the bloodiest engagements of World War II. The Battle of the Bulge had several significant outcomes. First, it marked the last major German offensive on the Western Front, effectively shattering any hope of a German victory. Second, it severely depleted the German army's resources, hastening their decline in the following months. Third, the Battle of the Bulge boosted Allied morale, as they had withstood a formidable enemy assault and successfully repelled it. The Battle of the Bulge stands as a pivotal moment in World War II. While the German army briefly gained ground, their failure to achieve their objectives and the resilience of the Allied forces ultimately doomed their chances of victory. The Battle of the Bulge showcased the courage and determination of the soldiers involved and solidified the Allied momentum that would lead to the final defeat of Nazi Germany.